एटम जो चैप्टर है, यहाँ पे मैं क्लास 12 के इस एटम चैप्टर की बात कर रहा हूँ और एक इम्पॉर्टेंट चैप्टर है ये। तो मैं यहाँ पे आपसे सिर्फ ये चाहूँगा कि आप लास्ट तक इस पूरी वीडियो को अगर आप देखोगे तो इससे रिलेटेड जितनी भी आपकी डाउट्स हैं वो सारी चीज़ें रिजॉल्व हो जाएंगी। तो ध्यान से आपको लास्ट तक पूरी वीडियो देखनी है, क्योंकि यहाँ पे बहुत सारे सवाल यहाँ पे आते हैं, बहुत सारे क्वेश्चंस हैं जो कि आपको अपने आप में आपके साथ दिमाग में आपके आएगी बात की कैसे हुआ ये क्वेश्चन, कैसे कहाँ से ये क्रिएट हुआ है। मैं एक एक चीज़ों को यहाँ पे क्लियर करने जा रहा हूँ। तो सबसे पहले मैं बात करता हूँ इसके इंट्रोडक्शन की। एंड एज वी नो दैट फ्रॉम द अर्ली टाइम्स man has been wondering about the structure of matters, that is what the matter is ultimately made up of, कि मैटर अल्टीमेटली किस चीज़ का बना हुआ है। बहुत ही पुराने समय से इस चीज़ों को देखी जा रही है, इस पे बात की जा रही है और वहाँ पे एक क्वेश्चन मार्क लगा हुआ है कि पूछा जा रहा है कि वहाँ पे कि क्या चीज़ से बना हुआ है ये। However, real breakthrough could only be made at the beginning of 20th century. It is now well known that material bodies are ultimately made up of very small particles called atoms. ये जो पार्टिकल्स की बात मैं कर रहा हूँ ये किससे बने हुए हैं? एटम्स से बने हुए हैं। और a substance that contains atoms of one kind, बात मेरी ध्यान से समझना आप, मैं यहाँ पे इस चीज को मेंशन भी कर रहा हूँ। a substance that contains atoms of one kind। अगर सिर्फ एक तरह के एटम्स का सब्सटेंस बना हुआ है तो इसको आप क्या बोलोगे? कॉल्ड एन एलिमेंट। ये आपके लिए एलिमेंट है, एंड while those containing more than one kind of atoms अगर एक से ज्यादा आपके पास इसमें एटम्स में कॉम्बिनेशन हो, मोर देन वन टाइम्स, इसलिए मैंने यहाँ पे लिखा है मोर देन वन काइंड ऑफ एटम्स आर कॉल्ड compounds or mixtures। In fact, if you want to know that what is compound and what is mixture, so if you are talking about the copper, you want to talk about the copper, then what is copper? Copper is an element. Copper is an element because it is composed of one kind of atoms. It is composed of one kind of atoms. Whenever you try to just break the copper, you didn't get any different types of atom. You only get the copper, only copper, not other element. So that's why copper is an element. However, if we are talking about water, then water is a compound, and it is composed of two kinds of atoms. So which two kinds of atom? For example, hydrogen and oxygen, H and O. This H and O atoms, two types of atoms. The atoms are of different element, differ in mass, size and other properties. Thus the atom of copper is heavier than that of aluminium. Yes, we can write here atom of copper is heavier than the atom of aluminium. A neutral question arises here. What is the structure of atom? The object of this chapter is to focus attention on the various theories of structure of atom. Because initially, most of the person has given the concept related to the atoms. First one, the concept given by the atom or given by someone is nothing else, Thomson. This is the, you must be familiar about this concept, Thomson's model of atom. What is said about the atom model of atom? So, according to Thomson, an atom is positively charged sphere. I am drawing a sphere here. And having radius of this sphere is about 10 raised power minus 10 meter, in which entire mass and positively charged of atoms is uniformly distributed with negative electrons embedded in it. And I am drawing here, you can see like this. This inside red mark part is behaves like electron, and the positive charge, we are also showing here positive charge in different colors. So I am showing the positive charge in a small dot like green color. So these are positively charged matter. These are positively charged matter. And all red color circle is an electron, behaves like an electron, like this. So beautiful arrangement, but it was not considered further. Okay, the number of electron in such that their negative charge is equal to the positive charge. The negative charge must be equal to the positive charge. Thus the atom is electrically on this concept, because the negative charge when it must be equal to the positive charge, you can say that atom, yes, you are exactly right. Okay. Atom is electrically neutral, right? This model was called Thomson plum pudding model, and it is also known as plum pudding model. Because negatively charged electron, the negative charge electron, this is a plumb. Negative charge electron is plumbs, right? Were embedded in, and this one is embedded in the sphere of uniform positive charge. And the uniform positive charge, you can say this charge is the pudding. I am writing here, this is the pudding, right? And this model had the following drawbacks, because further this, you know well, this model is not considered for further. So some drawback here, I am writing the drawback one by one. First drawback, it could not provide stability to the atom. First major part, it could not provide stability to the atom, जो कि बहुत ही ज़रूरी होती है. It is because the positive and negative charge are stationary and will be drawn towards each other, thus destroying the individual negative and the positive charges. However, subsequent investigations revealed that positive and negative charges in atom remains in a separate entities, although the atom is neutral as a whole. And second property, to just is a drawback, it could not explain the large angle scattering of alpha particle. It could not explain the large angle scattering of alpha particles when the latter are passed close to atom. On the basis of Thomson's model, since the positive and negative charge are uniformly distributed, the net charge on atom is quite small, even close to its surface. Hence, the force exerted by the charge of the atom on the alpha particle should be quite small. However, Rutherford shows that a large angle is scattering of alpha particles. This gave the depth below to the Thomson atomic model. And the third one, which is the important property, is also drawback. Third drawback is it could not explain the presence of discrete spectral lines emitted by the hydrogen and the other atoms. Explain the presence of discrete spectral lines emitted by hydrogen and other atoms. Right? These are the drawbacks. Now for the Rutherford alpha scattering experiment, we are discussing about the famous experiment by Rutherford. The name Rutherford alpha particle scattering experiment. Or you know well, already this part is studied by you in chemistry. But this time there are some important conclusion here. In almost in 1906, Rutherford studied the scattering of alpha experiment from a thin gold foil in order to investigate the structure of atoms. This important experiment led to discovery of atomic nucleus. An alpha particle is the nucleus of helium atoms. The helium atoms with its 2 electrons removed, therefore it is positively charged particle. Many radioactive elements emits alpha particles because these alpha particles, sometimes students ask that from where you get the alpha particles. So it will be radiate from the any radioactive elements. And if you consider that if there is a gold foil, almost 0.01 mm of the size of gold foil, so it should be completely circular. I am taking this part like this, yes, and this is a gold foil, and here is a nucleus here, which is positively charged, and it is observed that which type of observation you observe here, कि just when alpha particle incident, normally it will retrace its path and back to the same path. This is the retraced path, okay? And the alpha particle which moves far away from the nucleus, it just deviates its path like this. There is some small angle of deviation, but as the ray close to the nucleus passes from close to the nucleus, the angle of deviation is respectively increases here. This is the angle of deviation of this alpha particle. So this is the alpha particle which is projected towards the nucleus of the gold foil. What we observe here, so we are writing some observation in some points here. Point number 1. Most of the alpha particles pass straight through the gold foil or suffer only a small deflection. you can see here the the alpha particle will pass straight path as it passes away from the nucleus, and some of them which is just near about the nucleus will make some an angle of deviation here. And the second observation is a small number of alpha particles suffered fairly large deflection. As you observe that this time which directly strike the nucleus will deviate, this is moving in this direction, and just after not striking this one, there is some gap, and this gap is known as distance of closest approach. We will discuss later. And after just passing through this part, the ray retraced the path. That's why here is making an angle 180 degree. This is the maximum deviation when alpha particle passes very close to the nucleus. Just strike head-on collision, you can say that this is the head-on collision. And third one is a very small number of alpha particles almost about 1 in 8,000 practically retrace their path or suffered deflection of nearly 180 degree, as I shown here in the diagram. This is the 180 degree of deflection. What is the conclusion about this all over? This was the observation which I discussed with you, but what is the conclusion? The conclusion is that the large angle scattering alpha particle cannot be explained on the basis of the Thomson model of atom. First is this, and the net charge at any point in such an atom is small because positive charge and negative charge are uniformly distributed. Therefore, Thomson's atoms would not be able to scatter an alpha particles through a large angle. Okay. Now, the large angle scattering of alpha particle could happen rather for reasons only if the positively charged alpha particles were being repelled by the massive positive charge concentrated in very small region of the space. The positive charge cannot be distributed uniformly. That means there should be negative charge in all the surroundings, and the positive charge only will be in nucleus. According to the Rutherford, the positive charge cannot be distributed uniformly inside the atoms as well as assumed by Thomson. Therefore, Rutherford proposed that. I am writing final conclusion. Rutherford proposed that an atom has tiny positive charge core called the nucleus. Okay, which contains most of the mass approx 99.9%, yes, of the atom. The electron move in orbits around the nucleus because if they were at rest, they would fall into the nucleus. Due to electrostatic attraction. Between the positive nucleus and the negative charge of electrons. Negative charge of electrons. ये तो आपके लिए कंप्लीटली एक फाइनल रिजल्ट था जो हमने यहाँ पे देखा है. Now we are going to discuss about the next part, distance of closest approach, which is you can say that size of nucleus. So I am writing the heading distance of closest approach. Size of nucleus. Rutherford experiment of alpha particle scattering can be used to estimate the size of the nucleus. Suppose an alpha particle is directed towards the center of the nucleus. I am drawing once again. This is the atom and it's a nucleus, and here is alpha particle which is moving towards the atom. This is the alpha particle Okay, and it's a nucleus, it's the center of the nucleus, and the distance from this alpha particle to the center of nucleus is represented in the form of R naught. And what I am saying you, कि suppose an alpha particle is directed towards the center of the nucleus. Of an atom as it approaches the positive nucleus, it experiences a repulsive force. These alpha particles, as it approaches towards the center, yes, experience a repulsive force due to nucleus, and its kinetic energy starts, because you have given the kinetic energy of alpha particles here to move towards the center, and this kinetic energy starts getting converted into the electrostatic potential energy. कि जैसे जैसे ये इसकी तरफ नजदीक जाता जाएगा धीरे धीरे इसकी स्पीड कम होगी, बिकॉज अल्फा इज ऑल्सो पोएटिक एंड न्यूक्लियस इज ऑल्सो पोएटिक, तो दे विल रिपेल टू ईच अदर and they will reduce the speed of the kinetic energy of the alpha particle, and as I told you, kinetic energy starts getting converted into the electrostatic potential energy of the system. Therefore, alpha particles slow down, and at some distance, which is R naught, from the nucleus, it stops for a moment and then begins to retrace its path. It is scattered through at an angle 180 degree. This one makes 180 degree, and this R naught is called distance of closest approach. Okay, so I'm writing here the main thing which is markable here. I'm writing here in form of note कि as alpha particle approaches the positive nucleus, its kinetic energy, at first it experiences repulsive force, due to nucleus, okay, and now after that its kinetic energy of alpha particle starts getting converted into electrostatic potential energy. Of the system. Therefore, alpha particles slow down and at some distance R naught from the nucleus it stops for a moment and then retraced its path the R naught is called distance of closest approach. Now we will find mathematically an expression for R naught to solve the numericals. At first we are going to consider that m is the mass of alpha particle, mass of alpha particle, v is the velocity of the alpha particle, and q1 charge on alpha particle, and charge on alpha particle is 2e, and q2 which is charge on nucleus which is ze, both are in positive. That's why they are applying the force of repulsion. And the kinetic energy of alpha particle, I am going to write here kinetic energy of alpha particle in the form of half mv square. And if we are talking about the potential energy, then you can write the potential energy which of alpha particles, because as it moves towards the nucleus it will go slow down. So 1 upon 4 pi epsilon naught, which is electrostatic part, q1 q2 upon r naught, and 1 upon 4 pi epsilon naught, q1 is 2e, q2 is ze, and r naught, then you can write here 1 upon 4 pi epsilon naught 2 ze square upon r naught. And according to law of conservation of energy, you know well, according to law of conservation of energy, the kinetic energy of alpha particle must be equal to the potential energy of the alpha particle. So you can write here half mv square is equal to 1 upon 4 pi epsilon naught 2 ze square upon r naught. And from here you get the value of r naught, and r naught is equal to 1 upon 4 pi epsilon naught. After solving you get the value 2 ze square upon k alpha, where k alpha is half mv square. Okay, this is the formula of the distance of closest approach. And there is also some following points should be noted here. Number one, it's a note down this important things, all important things related to this part. The radius of nucleus, it's a very important, must watch it. The radius of nucleus will be less than R naught, first point. And the second point for you is the value of R naught depends upon the initial kinetic energy of alpha particle. Okay, if the value of k alpha is very large, then alpha particle will reach extremely close to the nucleus. Okay. Under this condition, the nuclear force will become active and alpha particle will penetrate into the nucleus. Therefore, alpha particle with kinetic energy greater than certain value cannot be scattered back by the nucleus. It's a very remarkable thing. So must be noted down, and you can see here the magnitude of R naught cannot be estimated by the considered by typical case. In case of gold nucleus bombardment by alpha particle having the initial energy is 24.6 mega electron volt. I am showing here. I'm not already. I'm writing here. The magnitude of R naught can be estimated by considering a typical case. When gold nucleus bombarded by an alpha particle, having an initial energy of 24.6 mega electron volt, then R naught equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught 2 ZE square upon kinetic energy of alpha particle. Put the value here, 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught, the value of 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught is 9 into 10 raised power 9 into 2 into the value of Z equal to 79 for gold. So we can write here, say 9 into 10 power 9 into 2 into this one is 79 into charge of electron 1.6. Okay, put the value here, put the all value. Write it clearly, 2 into 79 into 1.6 into 10 raised power minus 19 is square of this one, and by 24.6 into 10 power 6 into, and here is 1.6 into 10 power minus 19. After solving all this part, you get the value 9.25 into 10 power minus 15 meter. The radius of gold nucleus must be less than this value. Must be remember these things. Okay, the radius of the gold nucleus must be less than this value. Right? And after that, we will discuss further the topic impact parameter in our next